Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Cigar City. This is a good gourd. And I don't know if this is the first time, but this is the first time I've seen it in a 4-pack can, so really exciting. Actually, hell, if you want to skip it ahead to the review, please skip forward. We're going to do a little bit of story time. So this is, I believe, Beer Advocate's #2 rated pumpkin beer out there. And I just remember getting into beer and trying Schlafly, one of the highest rated ones. Pumpkin was pretty highly rated. Really good. What was that called? The one from, Jesus Christ. You guys can probably post it below. Something Hog's Head or something like that. Anyway, that was being produced, and this was just one of the highly rated ones. This was in a bomber. They also had Good Gourd Almighty, and just remember seeing this at a bottle share, seeing some of my friends. Actually, if you guys are from New York, please check out Timber Ales. Jason Stein, one of my close beer friends. Just that's where I learned beer, going to bottle shares, learning about beer with him and some of the other guys. But he now has a brewery, so producing barrel-aged beers and some hazies and stuff. But really excited. And yeah, this was a bomber, but now it's 4 packs of an 8.8% beer for something like $11, $12. Insane price versus a bomber. Used to be I bet $18, $20, so really cool. Cigar City crushing it. In my opinion, one of it, I guess obviously I deal with it down here, but one of the best large regional breweries, just producing just solid beer across the board. So let's dig into this beer. So this beer is pumpkin ale. 8.8% is an imperial one. It's pretty big. Cinnamon, allspice, cloves, nutmeg, and vanilla, and obviously some pumpkin probably put in here. The beer, it's always important to notice what the base beer is, and this seems to me like a deep amber color, so they probably produce something like a, not hoppy, but big imperial amber ale on this one. And that's generally the base, some kind of amber ale. But some of these beers are very pale, and so they don't stand up to the spices very well, because obviously with a more amber beer, you're going to get more of that kind of specifically with the malts, you're going to get more of that kind of crusty flavor, the deep caramel, more interesting flavors than just a pretty kind of light malty beer with the spices. And so beautiful beer, has a nice tan head on that. Oh, that smells killer. Yeah, I mean, that's all the pumpkin spices. It's a little bit latte-like, right? It's cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, all those delicious flavors. A little bit of that kind of crusty, burnt, not burnt, but toasted brioche kind of thing going on there. Toasted, croissant. This is buttery and crusty and it's absolutely beautiful. Well spiced, rich malt flavor, nice and dry. The spiciness sort of dries out the beer quite nicely. The vanilla is not overpowering. It's got a nice, as you wait more, there's more of that kind of spicy crust flavor going on. You're gonna have a hard, I strongly think this might be the best pumpkin beer out there. Rich spice character. And it's nutmeg, but not over. There's not too much of something. It's not a cinnamon bomb. It's just exactly what you want from a pumpkin pie, at least the filling. And then it's got a little bit of vanilla, just to bump up that kind of that a pumpkin pie filling kind of character. And the malts stand up to build up some of that crust character, but it's not an overly pastry decadent beer. It's really nice and drinkable. Super impure. It's super imperial. I mean, this is 8.8%. It is imperial beer, but it doesn't really sing like that. And it's got a little bit of fatness that rounds. That there's a balance. That's what this beer does so well. This is spiciness and rich vanilla character and nice rich malt character, right? It's richness, and I suspect it might even be Munich in here. Something to really bump up the maltiness and the color of the beer without being overly sweet. So probably Munich and Crystal are the ones that are contributors to this beer. Hell, I can probably look it up, but it's almost like a really fat Doppelbock with those spice flavors. And that's what the beer does so well. In the end, I think a lot of people ignore the fact that you really need great base beer to make a specialty beer, in the sense that this is a spice beer or something. You really need a great base beer. And this beer for me sings of not quite imperial brown, but really, again, it's more towards the Doppelbock range. Just what I'm tasting. So there you go. There's probably a good amount of Munich malt in here. If not, they've really built a wonderful malt bill to just like offer this just rich malt character without being stickily sweet. Let those kind of specialty ingredients come in here. It's dried out pretty nicely. For Imperial beer, it's not sticky, it's not sweet. The vanilla is what's offering this like nice richness about being a really rich beer. This for me, just a crusher. It's just so good. It's just the best pumpkin beer out there. And for the price, at 4 packs, at 8.8%, at like something like $11, $12, it's just a great deal. You can find this, I highly recommend it. You know, in general, not the biggest fan of pumpkin beer, but if you're gonna enjoy it, enjoy this one. It's a great treat in the sense that it's just not too desserty, and it's just a rich, decadent, delicious beer. And you might think I'm describing again a pastry beer, but it's just dry and, you know, again, it tastes like a spiced Doppelbock almost, and it's obviously a pumpkin ale, but it's just got that really rich malt character. And if you like Doppelbock, you're gonna enjoy this one. If you like pumpkin beer, you're enjoying this one. This is just such a treat. This for me gets a solid 90. 97. That is good Gourd from Cigar City. Highly recommend, world class. I think you'd have a hard time finding a much better pumpkin beer than this. Until next time, guys, cheers.